This episode is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the #1 seller of games and gaming accessories. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 resource for Magic the Gathering news and articles.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another Cube Draft, and we got two pieces of power in this pack. Time Walk is probably better than any of the Moxes, so I'm probably going to go with that one. Just take a glance at the rest of the pack. Prophetic Bolt is a Cube staple. It's just a great card. Plow Under is just, I hate that card. It just, I mean, it's a good card. It just, it makes games not fun at all. But almost certainly taking the Time Walk here, and you know, blue decks tend to be pretty good in powered cubes, so that's where we're gonna go with this. I guess that's kind of neat art, but I don't know. I feel like I'm really attached to the old art for these cards. Like I don't know. It's just not the same. All right, what do we got here? We just got past the library, so that's an easy pick. None of these other cards are even come close. There's not very many cards I would take over library. Like I would definitely take Sol Ring over it. Probably Ancestral, but not much else. I mean, this card is just broken, so. Yeah, it looks like we are going into some sort of dirtily control deck, since this card is best in decks that function well with a bunch of cards in hand, or are able to refill their hand very well. I mean, library is not so good in an aggro deck that empties its hand. But it's looking pretty good so far. All right. So what's good here? Mind Twist. Mind Twist is pretty broken, especially in a powered cube, where you can get an early Mind Twist for a bunch, and the game's basically over at that point. So I can't imagine taking anything over this Mind Twist. Oh, it looks like someone in the draft disconnected, so that could be a reason. But I'm quite happy to just slam the Mind Twist here. It's looking pretty good so far. Not gonna lie. All right, Winter Orb. Not really interested in that one. Might take Liliana. Might take Recurring Nightmare. I've never actually I haven't played with Recurring Nightmare all that much, so it's not a card I'm super comfortable with. Although if I have a good deck for it, I'll definitely take it. But I think I'm just gonna take Liliana here. It just seems like the most powerful card for what I'm trying to do. Yeah, it's good in like a blue-black control type of thing, and that's kind of where we're going with this. So I'll take the Liliana, but if you wanted to take a Recurring Nightmare here, that's certainly nothing wrong with that. Recurring Nightmare can be really good. Alrighty, definitely got some options here. Strip Mine is usually pretty good, but it's a lot better in aggro decks, and I don't think that's where we're going with this. I'm leaning towards the Sorin, just because Planeswalkers are just really good. Water Grave is also a good option. Terminus is it's not even like a card I have main deck all the time. So yeah, I think I'll just take the Sorin here. Planeswalkers are always good. Alright, what do we got here? Probably not interested in Show and Tell. This isn't really a Show and Tell deck. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to take this Caves of Koilos. Koilos, that is to say. Just because, fixing your mana is pretty important, and if I'm planning on playing the Sorin, I'm going to want to make sure I have, a nice stable mana base. And the rest of these cards really aren't that exciting. Miscalculation's fine, but there's no shortage of, cheap counter spells in this format, so I'd rather just have a good mana base. Alright. Damnation looks like what I want. Definitely better than Supreme Verdict, because there are actually a lot of creatures in Cube that can regenerate. Inquisition of Kozilek is also pretty good, but big expensive stuff are fairly replaceable. Whereas just good old Wrath effect is always welcome. I have a foil one of these in my cube. It looks sick. And not the promo foil, though, like an actual foil one. I opened it in a pack. um, so this pack is pretty good. We could take Bone Shredder, Shriekmaw, or Dimir Aqueducts. All three of which are good options, but again, I really highly value the mana fixing, and these the Ravnica Karus are just really good, especially with stuff like the library. So I think I'm gonna go with the Dimir Aqueduct here. All right, so this is the pack that we opened. Prophetic Bolt came back. I don't know if I really want to go into red. I definitely don't want Mesmeric Fiend. Nelron is a whatever. Graveboard Muse is okay. I think I'll go with the Graveboard Muse. I could also take Verdant Catacombs, but I don't have any dual lands, so it's a lot worse if I don't have the dual lands for it. Alrighty. I think we're going to take the Still Moon Cavalier here. It's pretty good against a lot of decks. Friction Obliterator, like, definitely not a deck that can play it, so I'm just going to take the Still Moon. I may not main deck it, but it's very powerful against either, like most black or white decks. It's very, very good against them. And it's also a main deckable card, just because like it has enough abilities that even against like non-black or white decks, it still does stuff. This pack is fairly unexciting. I'm not really interested in Void Mage Prodigy. I think I'll just take the Thran Dynamo. It's fine. I might not play it. It really depends on like what what kind of cards I end up drafting. If it like really powers up anything worth playing. Which of these cards do I want to lose to the least? Probably Empty the Warrens. Take that away from some combo deck. And I guess I can take a Black Knight, but I'm almost certainly not main decking it. I guess I can take a Broodmate Dragon. It's a reasonable threat against me. Disenchant is actually main deckable in Cube, so that can stay. I feel like I'm getting cut off from blue, but yeah, I can still splash a Time Walk. Alright, Tinker. Tinker is a lot better now. Both because there's a lot more cheap artifacts, and also because there's more card draw, and there's just scarier stuff to put into play with it. So I'm definitely going to slam the Tinker here, and hopefully we can find some cheap artifacts and some boom booms, like a Mirror Battlesphere, or even like a Blightsteel Colossus is like the obvious one. But there's still like a ton of other stuff that work really well with Tinker. In retrospect, the Mox would have been better for this deck than the Time Walk, but that's only because we opened Tinker. Alright, I can take Big Liliana, which is okay. I can take Swords of Plowshares, which is pretty decent removal. Underground Sea is really good. I don't know if it's better than Swords of Plowshares, though. I think I might have to take the Swords. Like, as much as I like Planeswalkers, Liliana Vess is not that exciting. It sucks that we have to pass an Underground Sea, but I feel like Swords of Plowshares is powerful enough that we can take it over it. Hopefully we get to table something out of this pack. Kitchen Finks, hopefully, but that's not super likely. So I guess we'll just take the Swords of Plowshares and move on. Alrighty, what do we got here? Factor Fiction looks like an easy pick. Not much else I'm interested in here. Could take a Blade Splicer, but it might actually come back. So Factor Fiction is just much better than the rest of these cards. Alrighty. I might take the Abyss here. This might be like a good Abyss deck. There's also Memory Jar, which we can tinker into. It's Tolarian Academy, but we don't actually have all that many artifacts. Think I should take this Upheaval though, just because Upheaval is fairly good win condition. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna be upheavaling here. This is the dirtiest of dirtle decks. All right, there's an Armageddon, a Lotus Bloom, Force of Will. Lotus Bloom isn't that exciting in this deck. I mean, it does go with our Tinker, but I don't really have anything to tinker into yet. So I think I'm just going to take Force of Will. Alrighty. We got Time Spiral. We don't really have anything to do with Workshop, so like this isn't a Workshop deck. I don't think we can make that happen. Time Spiral is okay. Brainstorm is fine. Like you need a bunch of shuffle effects to make Brainstorm good. I'm gonna take it here, but I might not play it. Okay. Buried Alive, not really interested in. Neither are we interested in Necromancy. I guess we just take Forbid. Yeah, like it's whatever. Alrighty. Unburial Rites is an interesting one, but I don't actually have any creatures. uh, let's see. I'm surprised that whoever I passed Strip Mine to passed me Crucible Worlds, because that's a pretty good combo. I'm kind of leaning more towards Night of Glory. Nah, Apocryphite is probably better in this deck. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. It's a cheap it's a cheap artifact, and it works well with Tinker, and the Mirror Battlesphere came back, so we're probably online with the Tinker plan. So let's grab the Battlesphere, and we can start valuing the cheap artifacts a little bit higher now. So Okiba Gang is not very good in this deck. Mishra's Factory actually should be pretty good because again, it's a cheap artifact for Tinker. Inferno Titan we can't really cast, and Escher Oracle is probably not going to be very good, so I'm going to go with the land here. Duress is also a fine pick there. Alright, so which of these cards do I not want to lose to? I think we're going to cack... let's cack Putrid Imp. That gets rid of an enabler for the Reanimator decks. And if we actually manage to pick up some decent Reanimator stuff, we might end up playing it. So this is actually a decision. Tinkering into Memory Jar is actually pretty good, but Serendipity is just a really good man. So I'm not actually sure what the pick is here. I think I think I want the Serendipity. I don't want to go like 2 balls deep on the Tinker plan, and like I need ways of actually winning the game. So good cards to open would be obviously Sol Ring. I mean, I can't say enough good things about that card. And, well, by good things I mean the card's insane and it's broken and it shouldn't be in any cube. But like any Mox or Lotus or even like a Signet or something like that. Like an on-color Signet would be nice. Like we already passed an Izzet Signet and it's not really a card I don't really want to play off-color Signets. Alrighty, this is basically just a bunch of nothing. I guess I'll take a Seething Song away from someone. And I guess I can take a Time Spiral, but I don't think I'll end up playing it. Elite Vanguard, get the hell out of here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're not playing Time Spiral. Jace the Mind Sculptor, hello! Well, definitely can't pass that up. It'd be nice to table the moat, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. It's got to be Jace. Like the card's just insane. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Probably one of my favorite cards ever. I played 4 Jaces in every standard deck the whole time it was standard legal. All right, so what do we got here? For tinkering, I don't think we want to tinker into Precursor Golem. Like Mere Battle Sphere is just better. I think I want Venser. Venser is just a good man. The rest of these cards really aren't that exciting. Um, Venser it does a lot in this deck actually. Like it's like a pseudo counter spell, and like against aggro decks it can really buy you a lot of time. So yeah, it's gonna be the Venser here. So we got 21 playables, not including land. It's looking decent so far. Elspeth, Grim Monolith, Nether Void, Wrath of God, Coalition Relic. We got a lot of good options here. I think the pick here is Coalition Relic. It's not only is it an artifact, it's also it fixes the mana, accelerates. It's just a really good card for Cube. I definitely think it's the pick here. It's I don't know, like you could definitely make a case for taking Elspeth here. You can make a case for Grim Monolith or Wrath of God, but I really think that that having a stable mana base is the way to go, and it works well with our Tinker plan. So I'm gonna go with the relic here. Okay, we have a disc, we have a Hallowed Fountain, Slaughter Pact, Gifts Ungiven. Think the pick here is the Hallowed Fountain. I want to make sure that we have a nice stable mana base. Like disc is good and all, but like we already have Damnation Upheaval, so that shouldn't really need it. Gifts Ungiven is also fine, but we don't really have anything that interacts with the graveyard, so it's less good in our deck. And Slaughter Pact is just a removal spell. It's like whatever. I'm just gonna go with the Hallowed Fountain. All right. Ooh. I really want to take one of these fetch lands, but I think we need the Orzhov Signet. There's also Lake of the Dead, but I don't really like Lake of the Dead that much. Yeah, I think it has to be the Orzhov Signet. As much as I really want to take one of those fetch lands, it's Orzhov Signet. Not only it accelerates, it's a cheap artifact for Tinker, and it helps us cast bigger Mind Twists later on. So I don't think I can afford to pass it up. Okay. Well, this has got a lot of options here. There's Vampiric Tutor, which helps us get our combo online. There's Necrotal, which does a pretty good job of keeping us alive, as does Dungeon Geists. Because we have so many crazy powerful cards, I think that Vampiric Tutor is the way to go here. Like we have so many bombs. Like we have Jason Mind Sculptor, we have Tinker, we have Mind Twist, we even have Time Walk. So I feel like Vampiric Tutor is the best way to go here. It even gives us a shuffle effect for the Brainstorm. Although I might be cutting the Brainstorm if I don't end up getting any of those fetch lands. So this pack definitely, oof, jeez, there's like 4 cards I want to take in this pack. There's Face Fetters, Everflowing Chalice, Baleful Strix, and Shadow Mage Infiltrator. This is actually kind of a tough pick. Leaning towards the Baleful Strix because it's kind of good against everything. Like not only is it an artifact, it also draws a card and trades it with the creature. So yeah, I'm not sure if this is right or not, but I kind of want to try out this Baleful Strix. It's not a card I've played with a whole lot. All right, Worn Power Stone just seems like a better version of Thran Dynamo for this deck. Could also take Vampire Nighthawk, which is pretty good against aggressive decks. This Old Man of the Sea, which is kind of a pet card of mine. I actually like it a lot, but it's probably not the right pick here. I really think I should just be taking the artifact mana, so I'm going to take the Worn Power Stone and probably cut the Thran Dynamo. Alright, take a second Signet here. Had I known I was going to be getting an Azorius Signet this late, I definitely would have taken a fetch land earlier, but There's no way I could have known that. There's also Tide Hollow's color, but I think the Signet is just better in this deck, so let's go with that one. And Precursor Golem came back. I'm not really interested in Molten Tail Massacre because I don't really have very many creatures, and it's not really a card I like that much anyway. Short Fang's okay. Agony Warp is fine. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Precursor Golem. It's a fairly good win condition. Okay. I'm gonna go with the Archmage here. Just a very solid card. And wow, Disc and Gifts Ungiven came back. I guess I'm taking the Disc. Sure, let's take a third last pick Jushi. Second last pick Dungeon Geists. Might have Chronomox might have been the pick there actually, but I kind of want more stuff against aggro decks. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, and I'll take a few minutes to put it together, and we'll see you guys in just a sec. Alright, welcome back. So this is what we're going to be submitting. We had to make a few late cuts. I ended up cutting the Disenchant, although I do think you can main deck Disenchant in Cube. I just couldn't find room for it. Ended up cutting the Precursor Golem again because it's just a dude. It doesn't really do a whole lot. Like, chances are, if I'm able to attack with the Precursor Golem, there's any number of different things I could be killing them with. So it's not. I don't know. Like, I might side it in against certain decks, but I had to cut something. I like the Serendip in this deck. I might board that out against like mono red just because the damage is kind of a liability against those decks. Other than that, this might be like a little threat light, but that's fine. Actually, a lot of my spells can win the game on their own. Upheaval should be pretty good. Other than that, I'm liking the looks of it. Like, I got Jace, Soren, and Liliana, so you know, that can't be bad. Other than that, I'm hoping I get to tinker someone today, and yeah, it looks good. So let's go ahead and submit, and we'll see you guys in round one. Peace.